Hey guys, Simon Murray with a quick 5-minute video showing you how to use candies to tonal wash as opposed to like full color saturation. And I'm just laying this down over black and white. Okay, so I'm monochromatic and then I'm gonna candy over the top of that. The white I'm actually using is just Wicked White with a ton of 4011 reducer and some 4030, and that's really just to increase the transparency. It needs to be a very transparent white for this to work. And the actual background is just auto born sealer with our new Wicked Opaque Black. So I'm just coming in now, mapping everything out, and I'm showing a little bit of restraint on my highlights. I mean, yeah, you can see there's clearly highlights and midground and shadows, but I don't want those highlights super hot because I'm actually going to only use one coat of candy. So if I was using traditional 4 or 5 coats of candy, I'll make those whites like super hot, really bright. But on a case like this, I'm just going to show a little bit of restraint. So the background is the Wicked White, as I explained, and the foreground I'm using here is actually Wicked Detail, and that's Payne's Grey, again with a lot of 4011 and some 4030. So I'm going to clear coat everything now and leave it for a couple of days. You can candy straight over the top of the white, obviously, but it's a bit of a safeguard here. It'll be a much safer option for you guys to try this at home. And I'm just old school in here with 1000 wet and dry. I could use a DA, but it's quite an awkward area. So this is just 1000 wet and dry. And then that's me ready now to candy. So before that, I just want to get my gloves on there and get some alcohol pre-cleaner in there, and I just want to remove any dirt, contaminants, vegetable oil, anything like that. And once I've got that done, I want to use a tack rag, but I also use a blowgun. I always use a tack rag in conjunction with a blowgun. And the reason for that is if you just use a tack rag on its own, when you come to actually spray and that air hits the tank, you're going to get dust everywhere. And the colours I'm going to use today are Dirt Track Brown and Red Oxide, Candy 2.0. They're pretty nice colours, standalone colours in their own right, but when I mix them it gives me that really cool sepia look. And I'm just using UVLS 4050 gloss as my carrier. It must be gloss, guys. The matte will kind of mute your artwork out a little bit, so make sure you're using the gloss. And I'm just putting my mixture here, and it's 85% red oxide and 15% dirt track brown. And into that I'm going to put about 10% reducer. I don't always use reducer in my candies, quite often I don't, but when I'm tonal washing I actually always do. And give it a good stir, get everything emulsified in there, make sure you've got it really stirred, and I want to then just filter that. The candies are the only Createx paints that I actually filter. They're all pre-filtered at the factory, but I'm a little bit paranoid. 30 years has taught me to be very careful with candies, so I always strain them. Also like to spray them out on a little test piece first rather than just go straight onto the job. I'm just checking that they're not mottled or it's not over reduced or my gun's not dirty. For the sake of a few seconds, guys, I really recommend you always do this. And that's pretty much it. If I'm happy, I'm going to come in with my first and bizarrely only coat. It's literally going to be a one coat wonder here. And you can see I'm being indiscriminate. I'm not just painting the artwork, I'm chasing the candy right into the black. And that's really for light interaction in the sunlight. I want that candy, even though it's only one coat, I want it to go right into the black so that I get like a consistent tone in the sunlight. So I'm just spraying the entire area. And even with that first super light coat, I'm just showing you the contrast here. It looks like there's hardly any paint on until you actually see the original panel. And that's amazing how much that's influenced by just one coat. So really what I'm trying to teach in this video is restraint. When you're tonal washing, make this look like an old photograph, you need a lot of restraint. So my fan's wide open, my range is about 400mm, very fast hands, very relaxed. This is a million miles away from when I'm traditionally painting candy, where I'm meticulous, I'm watching my fan overlap. Here it's a bit of a bun fight. I'm just flicking the paint on, as I say, indiscriminately, making sure I cover absolutely everything. A lot of range, high air pressure, wide fan, fast hands, and as I say, just build it up super gradually. If you think you need a little bit more, by all means put another coat on, but after 2 coats it's all over. The last thing I want here is color saturation. I just want that faded tonal wash. So be very, very careful and please show a ton of restraint here at this stage. I'm also keeping an eye on the original panel just to make sure that I've got consistency. It's very, very important that I keep everything, especially if I'm only using this one coat. I really, really need consistency. And it's very important that this is a COB system. What does that mean? It's a clear coat over base coat. You see, when I clear this, the color really saturates. And then you're going to say, I should have listened to Uncle Simon. One coat was plenty. So please, just one coat is all you need. And hopefully this has helped you guys for total washing. If you've enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, maybe subscribe, and you can follow the links underneath the video. Hopefully I'll speak to you guys soon.